A few episodes ago I told you about the best albums of 1999, following the source. And now, accidentally, I was reading this Source magazine featuring Rakim on the front cover, but it actually has the best albums of 1997 inside. Interesting. Let's have a deeper look. Hi, I'm the Hip Hop Collector. hiphopcollector.com. So back to 1998. To be more specific, February 1998. The Source. Like you've seen before, with Rakim on the front cover. Super nice edition. Features also Lil Kim DJ premiere. But it's also an overview of the year 1997. 1997, the hip hop yearbook, beats, power and politics. Let's dig deeper into those top albums following the source. Let's have a look. So, page 70. The Source System 1997, beats and lyrics. The best albums of the year. Includes albums released between November 1996 and October 1997. That's important. Here they are. Nice little overview. Let's do this. It's fun. I love it. This is so long ago. Jesus. First up, the Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. Classic album. Although I'm a bigger fan of his first album. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of double albums in total, in general. I prefer short albums. Short and strong albums are the best for me. No fillers, etc. But Biggie, that was a great album. Next up, Master P, Ghetto D. From the No Limit Posse. This is a really dope album as well. I played it a lot. Features all the No Limit soldiers. Can't go wrong with that one. Next up, Scarface, The Untouchable. Now that is a really dope album. I clearly remember buying it. Back then when we went with school, we went to Berlin. And I went into a record store and it was just released. And I said, oh, that's mine. Took it home. And ever since in my collection. Dope album, really. Scarface. Love the album cover as well. Next up, Redman, Muddy Waters. What can I say about that album? It's his third solo album. I prefer the second one. There is a Dark Side. Muddy Waters, I think, is a close second. And what the album is also there. The first three albums for me are just top. But Muddy Waters, Jesus, that was good. Next up, Hell on Earth by Mobb Deep. Another crazy good album. It's insane. I don't like the album cover. No, I don't see it. I get the point. I get the message, Hell on Earth, but I prefer more the backside. Actually, the backside is a very cool picture of a Havoc and Prodigy. Next up, the Wu-Tang Clan, Wu-Tang Forever. Another double album. Very good indeed. As I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of double albums. I prefer one strong, short album. Not too short though, but like Nas, Illmatic for example. That's bam, it's to the point. Strong, not too long. Great. Wu-Tang Forever. Great album though, awesome tracks on there. Next up, Machiavelli, The Killuminati, The 7 Day Theory. I clearly remember buying that in what used to be my favorite record store. And I loved it. I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. It's so good. So many great tracks. All the mystery a bit surrounding it. That was cool. Next up, Puff Daddy and the Family, No Way Out. Not my favorite album. I would probably not put it in my top 20 because it's 20 albums that feature this list. There are good tracks on it though, that's for sure, but I would not put it in there myself. What do we have here? Capone and Noriega. The War Report. Now that's a really dope album. I used to play that from start to finish. I love the album cover, that's really, really nice. Yeah, Capone and Noriega, really banger, really, really good. Next up, Wyclef Jean, Carnival. I remember buying it, that's for sure. In the beginning I was a bit like, maybe not really what I expected. But when you give it a few listens, for sure now still, it's really a great album. It's really nice. There are really great tracks on it. So, yeah, check it out again. I did it as well. Believe me, I was not the biggest fan in the beginning, but it's really dope. Same with the next one. Foxy Brown, the Il Nana. I was so looking forward to that album. I really remember that. But then I heard it and I was like, I was rather disappointed. I expected much more from it. It's not bad, but I remember back then it didn't hit me that hard like many other albums did. But there are good tracks on it, that's for sure. Again, one that will not be in my top 20 of that year. Next up, another double album. They were very popular back then. This one is from Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Art of War. Again, like the other double albums, amazingly good tracks on it, but personally, and that's for me personally, I prefer just one disc and put all the best tracks on there. You can release the other ones later on a different album, but this one has really dope tracks on it, that's for sure. Bone Thugs, really cool. Then we have the various artists, the soundtrack, I'm About It. Really cool album. Remember buying that one as well. Again, I would not put it in my top 20. It's a decent soundtrack though, that's for sure. Next up, Busta Rhymes, When Disaster Strikes. That was a nice follow-up to The Coming. Although I prefer the first album, The Coming. This one has amazingly good tracks on it. Busta Rhymes going at it. Top album, that's for sure. And stands in this list. I would also probably put it in there. It's really, really dope. Then we have the West Side Connection, Bow Down. Now, when I first heard that one, I was like, blown away. I remember that my friend who I used to go digging with bought it and said, hey, I have this one, it's amazing. And I went to the store and they told me, yeah, we only had one copy and it's already sold. I said, haha, I know to whom you sold it. So I was a bit disappointed there was no second copy in that shop available. The next week though, they were available, that's for sure. But back then I remember I wanted to have everything directly. But this West Side Connection album, start to finish, top, really amazing, awesome. Next up, the Ghostface Killer, Iron Man. Now that again, a wu-tang album. It's so good. I remember walking, I bought it on CD, I put it directly on a tape so I could walk around it with my Walkman. And I used to walk around the city with this on. I still remember, it's really weird, but I still remember which streets I was walking with this Iron Man album in my ears. It's really bizarre. I also remember that I was working back then also in a fast food restaurant to earn some money to buy all the CDs. And during my lunch break, I went to the record store, my favorite record store that I already mentioned before. But it was on the other side of the street. So I went there. Iron Man was there. Took it. Came back into the fast food restaurant to do my second part of the shift. And there was this girl like, hey, what did you buy? I said, hey, Ghostface Killer, Iron Man. Wow, you're into hip-hop? That's really cool. I did not know that it was the Iron Man. I will go and buy it later on. Cool. Funny story. Next up, E40, The Hall of Game. Now that's a dope album. Also like the album cover. Super cool. E40 always delivers special style. I can imagine not everybody likes that, but I've always been down with him. It's really cool. The way his flow is the way of rapping is really dope, and he has dope tracks, great albums. Next up, EPMD, Back in Business. That was good. The album cover, awesome. I was so happy this album was released. The first few tracks were always on repeat, I remember that. Oh, this album is good. Next up, Lil' Kim, Hardcore. Okay, it's a nice album as well. I also expected a little bit more. Back then, I preferred this one to, for example, the Foxy Brown album. Great lyrics, nice. And the last one on this list, Mac 10, based on a true story. Awesome album cover, awesome album. For sure, I would put it in the top 20. This album is amazing. Wow, I really love that one. Like many others, played from start to finish. There's a good vibe on it. When it's a nice weather, you put it on and just let it flow. Great! These were the top 20 albums following the source of 1997. This was cool. See you all in the next episode. Peace! hiphopcollector.com